The people want Jose stats. And if we don't give them Jose stats, what good are we at all? Chris, Jose, welcome back. We miss you.
Thank you.
On our post-match episode. Welcome to the Heron Heads podcast to all of you. And I am Julio, joined today by some friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, Dave, Chris, and Jose. And on behalf of the guys, we want to thank you for joining us for episode 77 here on the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. For those of you watching live on YouTube, thank you so much for stopping by, and be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're enjoying the show. A huge shout out to our chief Heron Heads, Matias, Chow, Abu, Ava, and Marivi. Thank you so much for your generous support. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you will find a link in the description wherever you are listening. Also in the description, link to our merch store, link to our Discord server. So if you guys are interested in checking either of those out, by all means, we invite you to. And it's rivalry week. So Wednesday, we take on Orlando City. Not much of a rivalry lately, as Inter Miami has really dominated these ties in recent history since Messi has joined. But let's break it down, guys. Orlando City on Wednesday in Orlando. Last time we faced them, we won 5-0, and it was a fun time, a party time. So how are we feeling heading into this midweek fixture?
Confident as ever. We're on a 5-match win streak. Is that right? I think we're going to be on a 6. Orlando's not very good this season. We've seen it week in and week out. It seems like they may have picked up a little bit of steam the last week or two, but they're still not there. It seems like they're either still trying to mesh, or they just don't have the right personnel to do what they did last season. Last season they were a force to be reckoned with. This season they're just little like kitty cats and the Lions. But yeah, I mean, I foresee us doing whatever we want with them. Orlando is all bark or all roar and no bite. But yeah,
all
roar,
no scratch,
all purr, no gurr. Along.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Hopefully, everyone plays. We need I think this match is the one that we need everyone to play. And then if we need to start resting people, it's going to be Saturday against DC. So this is the match. It's a rivalry, and we just need to whoop them up again. You know, imagine if we do another 5-0, 10-0 on the season. Oof, that'd be nice.
Go, Jose. I'll let you go. I was speaking so much last episode that I need a break. My throat.
Right.
My voice.
Dave missed you, Jose, is what he's trying to say.
I really did. I was just going on and on, waiting for you to jump in and cut me off, and you were missing in action. So please, by all means, go ahead.
I'm very excited about this game. It's similar to what Chris is saying. I think there's a little bit more juice in this one, in the sense of it is a rivalry, obviously. But besides that, they are coming off a win against the Union, where they're feeling pretty good. They're pumping the chest out right now. They're pretty excited about that. They feel like, from what the coach was saying, from what you heard their players, Muriel is extremely high right now. This is his 10th match with the club, and he hasn't scored up to the last game against Union, and it was a brace. So it's one of those things where in their eyes they're like, well, finally we're clicking now. That's how they're seeing it. So I would love to just another 5-0. Just no, you're not. You're still who you are. You suck. Get over it. But that's what I'm looking forward to see how Muriel, how we gonna handle him. Loderos is a dog. Everything I've watched with him this year, it has not been the reason why they are losing. Loderos is not the reason why. He's constantly putting the ball into play in a very dangerous areas constantly. He's going to be a handful for us. I have so much respect for him compared to Mukhtar. Mukhtar sucks, but this guy way better. I really I'm excited to see this match because we're happy that we won that we won, right, against Montreal. But ultimately, did you guys feel fulfilled? I really didn't. I wanted a 5-2, but what can you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna leading off of that, yeah, I feel good going into this match, but I don't feel as high as I did going into the Montreal match. Heading into that Montreal match, we were all ready to go. We had just come off a really big win, and we felt that we could keep that bus rolling. And then we kind of hit a speed bump with Montreal, an unexpected speed bump. Montreal is not a high caliber team, and we, for lack of a better term, we struggled against that team until we didn't. But Orlando is a team that is better on paper than it has been showing. So that kind of gives me pause for what I'm expecting in this one. So if we play the same way that we did last match, Orlando could pose a much bigger problem than Montreal did. For that reason, cautiously optimistic for this one because there are higher caliber players on this Orlando team. And if we don't wake up and we kind of sleepwalk through the first half, we can be put finally in a hole that might be too deep to climb out of, even with Messi. But there is reason for optimism because we are getting healthy at the right time. We have Redondo, who finally decided to be ready for practice, and Alba now has a week, I think, of training under his belt. So we might see Jordi Alba in this one. So there is reason for optimism that, who knows, maybe we do put it on them 5-0 again. But I'm not expecting that type of performance. And like I said in the last episode, this is an away match. It's a rivalry match. I'm not expecting a blowout in this one.
Yeah, I think given the performance against Montreal, it's hard to expect a blowout in any capacity. That said, I don't think Orlando are all that good. They do have better players. It is going to be interesting because inevitably we will see Lodeiro against Gressel. And since we were linked to Lodeiro, it's going to sting if he ends up having a better game. We certainly questioned Gressel a lot over the last few days and in our post-match reaction after the Montreal game. There's a lot of discourse over why he's even in the starting 11 week in and week out. And I think in large part it's due to availability. Gomez and Redondo being out, I think, really affects how much we can rotate in there. Gressel does provide some veteran understanding in midfield. I wouldn't even say anything more than that, but he's just been around. He understands what that's trying to do. Whether he can execute that or not is really what's in question. But we'll see. Orlando, they have players that are in good form. Like Jose said, Muriel scored his first and second MLS goals against Philadelphia. The first one was beautiful. It was a really nice outside-the-box shot, which was like a laser beam into the top corner. So it'll be interesting. I think this is not going to be
that Muriel shot was out of control.
It was nice. But I don't think this match will be as much a walk in the park as the first match was. I think that first match we sort of like blitzkrieged them. We sort of punched them in the mouth early, and they had no idea how to respond. So it just sort of snowballed from there. I expect this one to be a little bit more cagey of a match, and it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a good test for Miami coming off of a game where they didn't perform to their fullest. And I didn't really have too much of a finger on the pulse today. I was a little bit busy. But was there any conversations or chatter about Messi's availability? I know he took that strong tackle. He finished the game, but was there any talks about that?
Yeah, an unverified report that while the knock looked bad, that he was still expected to not only play but start against Orlando.
Okay, well, that's good news. And then, like you said, Dave, there were images of Redondo practicing today. I imagine it was on the side. He's probably going to be out another 3-4 weeks, my guess. I have no idea. But given the original timeline, I think he was expected to come back early June. So we'll see if that remains true or if he comes back early. We just want him to come back as healthy as possible so we don't have any recurring injuries. And Gomez should be more or less in that same time frame, like another 3-4 weeks. But Alba has been back in training, and I expect him to be back out there, which in and of itself is a pretty good sized boost to the team. Negri has been extremely serviceable. I haven't had really any complaints in any of the matches he's played. Like nothing jumps off when he's playing.
Just that one own goal. Other than that, he's been perfectly fine.
That was just unfortunate, yeah.
But yeah.
Came off his
What are you gonna do? Alba would never, I guess, is Dave's point. So let's
Alba probably wouldn't have been in the middle of the box there right next to the goalkeeper.
Correct. He would have been waiting at the halfway line just like any good pulga.
Good for him.
So let's talk about this Orlando match. What are your guys' keys to the game as we look ahead to this fixture?
Score more than 1.3 goals.
Great analysis. Follow us for more analysis on
some more content. Yeah, I mean they're not a high scoring team. They've averaged a very pedestrian 1.3 goals per game. They're one of those teams that I think if we do just like we did the first time, if we get on them early, I think we're gonna throw them off completely. Because while I think they are getting better, which we've all talked about it, we've always felt like, man, I hope they keep losing because I feel like they're gonna get better and better as the season goes along. So I'd rather them just keep losing because I do think they're better than what the record shows. They just haven't gotten it yet. That's how I feel about when I watch them play. And I don't know, they just can't get it to click. Obviously, it helps them, I think, more so than us that it's a midweek match. I would have preferred it to be on a Saturday just because we have older guys who I would have really preferred us to play, and on a Saturday, but
and so that you could go to the game too.
And I can go to the game, yeah. If it were a Saturday, I would definitely go to the game.
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying, Jose, when I looked at the stats for both teams, there's one big thing that popped out, and it's the goal differential. Our goal differential is 15. Orlando's goal differential is -6. That's horrible for anyone out there who has no idea. It's going to be a stupid key to the match, but I mean, it's obvious that this has to be the key to the match. Can they outscore us? That's the biggest question here. Yes, our defense is shaky. Yes, we allow early goals, but can they outscore us at the end of the match? They have Maguire. Maguire is a very good striker. They have Lodeiro. Lodeiro's a very good midfielder, assist man. They need someone else to step up against us to outscore us. They need to score at least 3 goals, maybe even four to beat us. And from what we've seen this season from them, I don't think that's possible yet. Now, like Jose said, if Lodeiro is catching some fire, he just scored 2 goals, and that may be the difference maker in this match if he could continue on. It is a short week, so can he continue in that form after a 3-day rest or whatever it is, 4-day rest? We'll see. Our team is in the same position, but our team has a lot more firepower than just Lodeiro and Maguire. That's for sure.
And Muriel, again, by the way,
and Muriel, yeah, and Muriel.
Well, Muriel hasn't really done anything though up until the last game. That's if we're being honest. While I do think it's interesting that he just had a brace and he was brought in here to score goals for Orlando. He was literally that's what they wanted out of him. He led Serie A, I believe, in 2020, 2021, in goals. So he's definitely something that you expect. He has it in him. But what you were saying, Chris, and Dave cut you off, and then I definitely cut you off 100% more. What you're mentioning that we've allowed 20 goals. Did you know where that ranks in the MLS? Fifth last.
Probably like fifth, sixth.
Yeah, the fifth worst. The fifth worst. Yeah. Yes. So while we're the first, we're also like almost last. I think we're off by like a few. I think 26 goals is the worst. But it's like.
But where are we in goals scored? We're number one in goals scored.
By a lot.
I'll score us. I dare you.
Yeah. But that's going to be the story of every game, really. Every match where it's like, okay, well, are we going to just can we just blow them out of the water? That's basically it. Because these guys they're not scoring that kind of clip. So it's just a matter of if we score 3 goals, I think we got it in the bag.
And you know who also has allowed 20 goals this season? Orlando.
I was gonna say, to be fair on the goal scoring point, we're on pace to score 91 goals in this season. The record for most goals scored was a 1998 team that scored 85. So if we're scoring at the clip that we're going, it's going to be very hard for anybody to beat us.
It's not going to happen, Dave. We know that.
Oh, of course not. We know we have guys that are jumping off to international duty as well. So, and Copa America and things like that. So, but still,
article, Messi, it's possible that he misses more than a month of like not just our season, but then also because it's expected that they're supposed to get to the semifinals, I think, of Copa America, and then I believe there's another one that he's supposed to get, which he hasn't turned down. So it's interesting the Olympics that he was given by Javier Mascherano they offered him to join their under 23 team for the Olympics to be in the Argentina. So that's another tournament that he would be part of for Argentina if he accepts it. That's a lot of.
I think it's like 5 or 6 matches right now that he is going to miss, depending on how far Argentina get in tournaments. As far as goal scoring records are concerned, I think that's where that becomes a problem, which is not a problem in the grand scheme of things, other than just having his name in the history books for something else. To me, it's when are the absences, right? Like if he does participate in the Olympics, when is that absence going to be? Is that going to be during Leagues Cup? Is it going to be during an important final stretch in the MLS season? So to me, that's where it is important to note that. And I don't know. To me, we'll see. The piece, remember, I think an important takeaway from this last match and something that Dave and I talked about a lot is the confidence that we saw in the others this past Saturday, where Messi didn't have a direct goal contribution, but we still won. We still were able to put 3 goals on the board. And yes, Messi, his gravity is a big reason why some of these goals opened up or why some of these opportunities opened up. But Messi didn't directly contribute to a goal for the first time in over 5 matches. So to me, that's an important step to get through these absent periods where Messi's off on international duty.
And I think too, it depends. We're gonna have to see what the roster looks like too. Who else is gonna take international duty? But if Redondo comes back, if Gomez comes back, if these other role players on the team come back that we've seen have the capability of take it to the next level, we still have a decent team for the MLS, man. It's still very good. So yes, Messi is irreplaceable. Luis Suarez is irreplaceable, but we still have guys in there that could get it done if they don't go international to their international play. So still a big if. We don't know yet.
2022 is the next team. So we're 35 goals total scored. The next team has 22.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
We have 22 goals in the second half alone.
It's a big gap, but we also have a game played over all the other teams. Not that one game will justify that huge gap.
No one's scoring 13 goals, David.
You never know. What if we do now against Orlando? It might happen.
Yeah, I mean, just with the talent that we have now, with Rojas really contributing from the off, with Alba coming back, you get a good sense that Miami's going to be able to generate scoring opportunities. It's just a matter of how well Orlando's able to cope with those chances and their ability to sort of mount a response, if any. To me, that's going to be where the entire story unfolds here. But there's no doubt we're probably the most potent attack right now, especially when Messi's on the field. Like when he's not on the field, we're probably above average. But given that he's going to play this Wednesday, it seems like you got to expect that we're going to be able to score 3+ goals. It's weird to expect 3 goals, but that's sort of the bar that we've set for ourselves, especially in this recent run of form where even against Montreal, where we felt like we didn't have a good match, we had 3 goals. And again, Messi didn't contribute directly to any of them. He had a hockey assist on one of them, but it just goes to show you how many different ways we can sort of put one past the keeper. And with that said, should we talk about Orlando players first or Miami players first? Who do you guys want to talk about?
Miami, I would like to talk about Matias Rojas. I think that it's funny, like when I was watching Orlando and the electricity around Muriel when he was actually scoring. And by the way, that guy, he's definitely, I was reading up on him. He's always had weight issues. I used to always joke about Higuain. I was like, man, this guy needs to run a treadmill. This guy needs to run a treadmill.
He gives me Kyle Lowry vibes.
He really does. No, but if you see it, like, it's just like, but then he runs, he's super fast, and you're like, whoa, how'd that happen? It's it gives fat people just, we're excited to watch him. We're like, all right, this fat guy's just out here just being a striker, scoring braces in MLS, awesome. But no, he's electric, but I feel like what he can potentially do for them, we're kind of already seeing. Like, I'm already convinced that Rojas is already like settled in. It's crazy. It's just literally 2 games in. I feel like he's settled in. He is an amazing acquisition that we just made for this guy, and he's just fit right in. You could tell he didn't just start practicing with us. You could just tell. He's been practicing with us for weeks. They had no idea. But I'm most excited to see Matias Rojas. I think that he can be a huge difference maker for us, because our midfield has not been very good ever since Redondo has been gone, and ever since Gomez has been gone. We've been reeling at that spot where we're like, who's gonna take control of this midfield? And he's done a very good job, despite Gressel.
Agreed. I'm excited to see Alba obviously reintegrate. I feel like that's a bit of a cop out, but I would be very interested to see if Kremaski gets the start again. It seemed like outside of his goal, people weren't overly, amazed by his performance. It was just like a very average outing, and he scored a goal, which was the go-ahead goal. But otherwise, he didn't do too much to really wow anyone. He had some really poor giveaways. I remember one specific pass that he sort of just like lobbed over his teammate, and it just went into a bunch of dead space, basically straight to a Montreal player.
No, that was great.
Well, he did that a number of times, but Kremaski did it once specifically. And if he gets the start again, maybe seeing him just hopefully take advantage of the opportunity. Gomez and Redondo are on their way back, and I think they proved themselves and earned starting positions regardless of the form of any of these players when they are ready to come back. So I think Kremaski has a very good opportunity. He's still extremely young. So to me, these are critical minutes in his development, and critical in that he gets to play alongside Messi and Busquets and all these incredible players, continuing to build chemistry and continuing to hone his skills. So I'm hopeful, just like we're excited to see Rojas. Kremaski was the other name that jumped off the starting lineup on Saturday when they released it. It was like, oh, great, Rojas and Kremaski are starting. This is going to be a lot of fun. So I would be interested to see if Kremaski starts again. If he doesn't, I'm still interested to see him if he makes a substitute appearance, because he's just, it's fun to root for homegrown kids, just like we said in our post-match reaction on Saturday. So yeah, Benja, I always want to see him out there. I would be, like I said, interested to see if he starts. Maybe David Ruiz gets reincorporated, but I guess time will tell. We'll find out in 48 hours or so.
Yeah, so I want to go to the defensive side of the ball of the pitch, and I want to see Toto back out there, because we saw what happened with Toto not out there. And yes, we complain sometimes that he gives up stupid turnovers, his passing is horrible, and he lunges and all this stuff. But we saw Christoph out there in his place, and we went down 2 goals, and it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. In prior games when we've gone down early, it's because of stupid mistakes. But the 2 goals that we went down this past weekend, it was just poor defensive play, letting the defense get behind, or letting the attack get behind the defense, and not staying with your man, and then giving the opportunity for the attack to just be one-on-one against Calendar. And there's only so much Calendar could do, right? Yeah, he probably could have played that 5-hole one a little better, went right through his legs. But I want Toto back out there. I need him back out there. I don't want to see Christoph again. And I think a lot of people don't want to see Christoph again, from what I've read all day today and yesterday. So yeah, I'm just excited to see Toto again back in our back line.
I was letting you go because part of me wanted to say David Ruiz, and I was like, well, I don't want to steal that from Chris. But in that time, I was like, okay, who can I go off if not David Ruiz? And I think I'm gonna go with Drake Callender. I think last episode I was rough on Drake Callender. I think it's been a kind of tough run of play for him the last few matches, and I expect more from him. And I'm hoping that I'm seeing, like, I'm not even gonna call for the clean sheet anymore. Like, that's fine. He doesn't have to have a clean sheet, but let's see him have a sound game from whistle to whistle. I don't want him to look out of place, to look lost, to have all these miscommunications with his defense. And I understand that's it's not all on him when there's miscommunication, but there's times when you can tell it's his fault, and it's been an issue from match to match. And I know nobody's perfect, and everyone's allowed to have bad matches from time to time, but it's been 3 or 4 straight matches where Drake's left you wanting more from that position. So I'm looking at Drake Callender. I want to see him have a good game, sound game, a game where he doesn't have to make a ton of saves, but also maybe not turn the ball over instantly every time he kicks it far. Like, let's just say lose 50% of those, and I'll be happy. And don't make any mind-bending bad mistakes. Mind-bending. How about that one? That's what I'm going. That's what I'm going for. And in the attack, I would like to see David Ruiz be incorporated. You don't want to see a young player like that not be used. You don't want him to feel like he's not part of the project. So yeah, I would love to see David Ruiz, and maybe he gets a start over Kramaski. I do love Kramaski, but I honestly love the way he comes off the bench. May he be a super sub now, and then in the future he can be a mainstay. But right now, Kramaski, for me, off the bench, is probably the best player we have coming off the bench, for just from the energy that he brings.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. I was surprised that Kramaski got the start this past weekend for that exact reason. And it's been 14 straight matches. It's been 15 matches since we scored, or since we did not allow, since we earned a clean sheet. But it's been 14 straight matches with allowing a goal. So it would be really nice if somehow we were able to keep a clean sheet. It may have even been against Orlando, which was our last clean sheet, because we did keep them to a 5-0 defeat. But it's been a long time, and it's been a combination of errors from the goalkeeper, from the defense, from the midfield, from basically every level that has directly led to goal scoring opportunities from the opposition. So let's see if they find a way to somehow keep Orlando off the scoreboard again, which would be just so hilarious to me. And talking about Orlando, I'm going to be interested in seeing how Facundo Torres plays. There was a lot of hype around him last year, and this year has really been a tough season for him so far. 1 goal, 1 assist in 9 matches played. And both of those were in like back-to-back weeks about a month ago. But otherwise, he's been pretty quiet. I don't know if the integration of Muriel and Lodeiro has left him just not gelling with everybody, not understanding where he's supposed to be. But Facundo Torres was someone that we were circling in either the first or second time we came up against them when Messi joined. And
he scored last game.
I'm sorry?
I believe he scored the last game, didn't he?
Well, we shut them out. So no. No.
Okay.
No, he scored like a month ago. But he has 1 goal on the season, which is not great considering he was like a Mukhtar type, like a playmaker, a facilitator, and to have 2 goal contributions across 9 matches, it's not the level that he was hyped to be last year. Last year was a different story, but this year he's just had a really hard time. But if he's able to find himself and find some gaps, he can provide some problems. And with Muriel having scored a brace in his last match, he's going to be riding that high and could be dangerous. So I'll be interested to see how Facu Torres plays. Orlando probably is going to try to jam up the middle and overload it where they have the advantage. So between Lodeiro and Facu Torres, it could cause us some issues, especially if we fall into our bad habits and give the ball away.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, that was who my player to watch is Muriel. Having him score his 2 goals that last match, you kind of fear that he kind of solved his problems. Like he saw the ball hit the back of the net, and now it's go time, and that tends to happen in FIFA when we play, and it tends to happen in real life sometimes. So it's just visualizing something will help you get over that hump. So hopefully that's not true, and he reverts back to how he's been playing all season. But that's who I fear could cause some problems for us. If, like I said, we've had issues allowing the early goals. We don't want to see this snowball effect happen where Muriel gets hot, starts scoring goals, then you have their Faku get involved, start scoring goals, and you just don't want us to fall into a 3-0 hole, and now you're at most hoping for just to get out of there with a single point as opposed to no points. So that's my biggest fear. My fear is to fall into a hole. So I think they don't come away with a win without Muriel having a really good day.
All right.
You want to go, Jose, or you want me to go?
No, he said literally the player that I said already. I was gonna say Muriel. I already
You said Lodeiro. First of all, you mentioned Lodeiro before you mentioned Muriel. So don't give me that.
I also mentioned Muriel. I covered all my bases.
We're just crossing players off the list.
You know, okay, David, what do you do? I'm just saying, I'm covering all my bases, and that way, no matter what I said, I can always say, "Oh, I said that."
Jose, today you did your very Jose thing, and you just let out all the stats in your opening statement. You did it again. I thought you had gotten better, but
no. But it's a short week, so it's like I don't even have as many stats as I normally would have. Like shoes, I'm sure is super disappointed. Like I have one more stat: $147 cheapest tickets for the game. So
we're not there yet. All right, let me give my guy real quick. I'm gonna go with Angulo. Angulo, we haven't spoken about Angulo too much yet. He's been a little quiet this season, and last season he was very good for them. But he still had some decent stats: 3 assists, 1 goal. He's the second highest XG on that team, which is very interesting to see. Because what did we talk about a little while ago? They need someone else besides Maguire, besides Lodeiro, to step up in order to outscore us. So he's an interesting pick in the midfield there. They do have a very good team. If he's able to pass it out to one of these attackers, to one of these scorers, then it could be a very dangerous day for him. So I thought he was an interesting one because he's kind of looked over or looked past just because they brought in all of these other guys around. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't have a lot of confidence in Orlando right now from what they've done this season, so it's hard to really say who I really want to watch or who I think is going to be very dangerous because there's not a lot. Maguire's another good one. He's just a goal scorer. But
I believe he's actually getting recruited right now. Not recruited, but scouted right now to go to Europe.
Well, remember, he was supposed to leave during the offseason, and then the whole craziness of the facts or whatever.
But what team was it? Because I think they're on. I think they're. It's the
same Chris.
Team. I think it's
no idea.
It starts with a B, but that's fine. But because I read it today, I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." They're reopening talks again. That's what I read. So they have players. They can easily at home just ruin our day for sure.
Heading into the regular season, Orlando was touted as one of the favorites to win the East or come out of the East. This team has just underperformed tremendously, and they had a good season last year, got better this offseason, in my opinion. They have quality players in every position group, but they've just underperformed. And like Dave was saying, hopefully Muriel scoring this last match isn't the start of a tear of form that he goes on. And, hopefully Facundo Torres continues to underperform. All these players continue to underperform because it would really like playing away is already inherently difficult. I think Marcelo in the chat is bringing up that playing away with an improvised defense, it makes it difficult. But it would
have an improvised defense this whole year.
I don't think that's entirely true.
Okay, who's been out at left back almost the last month? Yeah.
Okay, but we've
Then
been in the season for 3 months.
A third of the season he's been out.
Okay.
Improvised defense all year.
Fantastic.
Say it, Jose. Say it.
I don't know what to tell you.
Great.
It's been improvised all year.
Right on cue. Okay. Well, the point is, it would be we're playing
Also,
another away
right.
match.
It's Blackbird. That's the team.
All right. Are we done? Thank you. Can I finish my point? Great. Playing away, we played away in Montreal. It was a difficult fixture. We come back, short turnaround, have to go to Orlando. Not the farthest distance from Miami, but again, another away fixture. They're going to want revenge. It's going to be another cagey match. Orlando likes trying to get under our skin. They don't necessarily fear the aura of these players, especially now. They've almost played us as often as Nashville. But to me, let's just I'm hoping that we're able to come away with another win. There's a lot of players that I hope continue to underperform for Orlando, and hopefully we are able to keep scoring in the amount that we're scoring. The likelihood is that we allow at least a goal. Hopefully we don't find ourselves in another hole, but it's likely that we're going to have to score 2 or 3 to come away from this match with the win. And given the offensive players we have, I don't think that's a problem. But to me, I just
3 is a lucky number.
Yeah, I think 3 is very reasonable. I find a lot of avenues that this team can take to get to 3 goals at least. I think that's sort of the fun of watching Inter Miami.
And if Orlando scores 3 or 4, then get rid of Drake Islander and get Keylor Navas already.
Great.
Immediately, if not sooner.
Perfect.
Don't let him back on the bus, right, Jose?
So now that that's all said and done, is Dave Stradamus in the building? I feel like we need to come up with a song for Dave Stradamus. Jose, if you can work on that, please.
We need
if we had a song,
right?
If we had a song, yeah. How do we incorporate that? We don't have that type of.
I've been looking into it. Don't worry about it.
Then YouTube flags it for you copied.
No. But it'll be something that we sing.
It would be Gilligan's Island, something like that.
I just figured it'd be Jose with a recorder as I put the hat on.
That's right. We'll be like Dave Stradamus.
Anyways,
all right, Dave.
Enough.
Go ahead and give your faulty prediction.
So, like I said at the top of the show, I'm done overestimating what we're going to do on the road. I'm done predicting calendar clean sheets. These guys need to prove it to me that they're ready to play sound defense from whistle to whistle. However, I'm not done predicting that we're going to score goals. We still have Messi on this team. We're still the top scoring team in the MLS. So I predict an Inter Miami victory, 3 goals. That's the magic number, like Julio said. We're scoring 3 goals. We're going to concede 2 goals. 3-2, 32. I like that number. It's a good number for us. And we're going to come away with 3 points. Magic number.
Yeah, and if we give up 2 goals to them, again, another terrible outing for us. But yeah, 3-2 sounds exactly what I was going to say also. So how about that? No, I'm not going to be clever. That's it. I just see us getting the magic number 3. I think that. Thank you, Julio, for mentioning that. Julio. But yeah, I mean, it's going to take. I see Messi getting back on the board, at least getting us some sort of a goal somehow. I have a feeling that we're going to sit Luis Suarez and we're going to put in Mbappe. I have a feeling that it's going to be the day that we give Suarez a little rest, and yeah, I have another Rojas goal as well, so it'll be 3-2. It'll be fun to watch.
I was gonna say 3-2, but I'm not gonna go that because why am I gonna do that? It's so boring. So let's switch it up. Let's do 4-1. Let's do 4-1. Inter Miami wins. I had last week or Saturday was the first time that I predict a clean sheet, and I completely regret it. I hate myself for doing it because I haven't done it all season. So I'm not going to predict a clean sheet. Never going to do it again until they prove something. They do get us a goal scored on them, obviously, but it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be 4 goals. We're going to go into Inter & Co. Stadium. We're going to go into our second home. We're going to score 4 goals on them. We're going to embarrass them. And just move on to the next match. Saturday, everyone's going to rest happily chilling 4-1.
Nice. I'm going to go 4-2 for Inter Miami. I think our attacking players are just too overwhelmingly good. Rojas is in a really good run of form. Messi is probably going to get back on the goal contributions. I would love to see Campana score a goal, but I think the likelihood is Suarez will get a 1 or 2 goals. And
what's more likely, Campapi scoring or Candler clean sheet?
What's more likely, Campana scoring or Robert Taylor scoring?
Robert Taylor scoring easily.
Wow.
That's
100%.
Easily. When was the last time he scored a goal?
Bang.
the last time Campana scored a goal.
No, like 5 months ago.
Robert Taylor last time was 5 months ago.
Probably.
I mean,
both of them probably.
I believe you, but
I would just say from the amount of minutes that Robert Taylor plays, that he's more likely to luck into a goal than.
So you're going the logical route here, not emotional.
I mean, not fun at all.
At all.
That's why I have
okay. But yeah, I'm gonna predict a 4-2. I agree with you, Chris. I think there's no way. We are incapable of keeping a clean sheet right now. Muriel is probably going to get on the score sheet again. I wouldn't even be surprised if we went down 1-0 to start the match, because we just love doing that to make all 4 of us start sweating and wondering, when this will all end. But I predict a 4-2. It should be relatively straightforward. Orlando just overall have not been performing at the level that they've been expected. And Miami is too good offensively to not trouble them a lot this match. If you look at some of the goals that Orlando have allowed this season, it's a lot of what Miami does really well. A lot of quick passing, incisive passing between the lines. And Orlando they're not cohesively strong on defense. Neither is Miami, which is why I'm giving Orlando 2 goals. But I expect Miami to find a lot of joy.
So you guys heard it here. We are all in agreement. It'll be more than 3 goals. We are all in agreement that they will score. They will also score a goal. We all believe that Messi will score. That's a heck of a parlay. First of all, it's a plus 120. It's a plus 120 for us to just win. That's great odds. I mean, I'm for that. Just I am not a financial advisor. Julio is.
It's not true. It is also plus 140 over 3.5 total goals.
I mean, that's a lot of good parlays. Pluses right there.
That's a lot of pluses there. Yeah. So bet responsibly, gamble responsibly. And again, we're not financial advisors.
Are you guys predicting any different formations than we've been doing? Will we stick with the 4-3-3? Will we change it?
I am hoping it'll be different from Saturday, where we came out in a 4-4-2. I'm hoping we do go back to a 4-3-3, and maybe Robert Taylor does come back into the starting lineup. I think that was trying to find a way to integrate Rojas and Kremaski into the starting lineup. I don't think it was all that effective. The first goal came from a set piece. Like, it came from nothing. It didn't come from the formation being sound. Later in the match, things opened up a little bit. But I don't think the 4-4-2 was much of a success. I think the 4-3-3 we've seen the success. I mean, the 4-3-3 coming out party was against Orlando, and to me, we need to go back to that.
Yeah, I agree. 4-3-3 is the way to go. I still don't know Rojas, if he's going to play in the midfield or play the left wing position. I know our midfield is very weak right now, so we may need him to be there, and maybe Robert Taylor on the left wing or something. Because like David said, I'd rather see Benja come in as a super sub type of guy. And we just don't have much else in the midfield right now. So it's going to be interesting to see if they do the 4-3-3 with Rojas starting. Where is he going to start? Is he going to be on the wing? Is he going to be in the midfield?
We will find out soon enough, because this is our first midweek fixture since Monterrey.
Wow.
And it'll be our last one for, I think, until Leagues Cup. So not too many midweek fixtures for Inter Miami, but this one will be one that will be circled on everybody's watch list, on everybody's TV guide as rivalry week in the MLS kicks off. But yeah, Chris, any closing thoughts here? Dave has closing thoughts.
I'll pass it on to David. He seems very anxious
Thank
to do it.
No, I just wanted to discuss the rumor mill a little bit. I know that's hot on everybody's mind as
Keylor Navas, Sergio Ramos.
possible additions. Yeah, there's rumors that San Diego is going after some boss hogs over here. They're saying that they're gonna hard press to sign De Bruyne, that they're hard pressed to bring in Sergio Ramos, that they have extended talks with Ramos's camp. So that's kind of a knock for Inter Miami fans who have had him pegged as the top defender that they wanted to bring into the fold. As much as I would love Sergio Ramos, that never really made so much sense to me because we've signed so many ex-Barcelona players that the thought of signing a long-time Real Madrid player, it didn't seem.
Busi and Alba connection from Spain.
Yeah, but again, Barcelona is like heated rivalry. Yeah, I don't see long-time rivals like that. And somebody mentioned in the comments, I forgot who it was. Sorry if I'm not giving you the credit, but Suarez has had so many bouts against Ramos that there's probably some bad blood there. And to get these guys in the same camp, Messi too. Yeah, I know, but I feel like Messi can mend fences with anybody just because he is Messi. Suarez looks like he probably got underneath somebody's skin and tried to take a chunk of it with his mouth. But yeah, it's just I like I said, like I always say, I want all these guys to come. The second they sign with anybody else, they're bums, and we never wanted them. So if all these rumors are true, let them go to San Diego, and we'll never see them again. Only Chow will be watching them in San Diego. And but looks like Di Maria, that seems to be heating up a little more. His representation was seen speaking with Inter Miami. So maybe there seems to be a lot of smoke around Di Maria, and everybody knows that he would love to play with Messi again. So that's one that, if I'm going to guess on any of these actually happening, I would say that Di Maria is probably the most likely.
And that for sure would fill a huge need for us. That just because Robert Taylor gone, and that's it. To head to pastures and put that guy right in there. Oof. Love that.
How about Modric? Modric is a Madrid guy. Rumors are pretty strong with him.
Are they strong right now?
I feel like it's a different type of player. Like Ramos battled and Modric battled, but in a nice way. Like Modric battled as like a nice guy, you know. Ramos was like, "I'm gonna break your arm right now," and sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
Guys, at the end of the day, everyone's coming to Miami for vacation. These guys are retiring. They just want to chill for the last few years of their career, sit by the beach, pina colada in their mansions. They're not here to bicker and do all this rivalry stuff. They just want to relax. They're over all that stuff. They just want to come, win, play some football, and they're good to go.
Chris, let's just say Drake Callender's relaxing too much, and we need him to get off his ass and actually block him. How about he blocks some ball? How about that? Get off the little. Stop getting his tan on the sideline and get in the game, right?
I'm just going to go on the record as saying I don't think Modric is coming here. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Thank you for that.
Put me down.
We need to hear your thought. Thank you.
I think you do. So you're welcome.
Why the people tune in.
Yeah. No, but I agree though. San Diego seems to be hot off the. And then you also got LAFC that they just made it official according to what's his name? The guy hates Miami. Fabrizio. Yeah, he made it official that Gerard, I think, is going to start in June.
Yeah, in the summer transfer. Once the Milan season is over, he's going to come over to LAFC.
He's got some bona fide stars just coming over. It's going to be great for the league.
Totally agree. We'll see what moves Miami makes once the summer window does open. But for now, we have Orlando coming up on Wednesday and then followed by DC on Saturday. So busy week. We will be live post-game on Wednesday following the match against Orlando. and we hope to see all of you guys there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out till the end. If you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Follow us on all socials at the Heron Heads on X, Instagram, TikTok. Join our Discord if you're interested. Link to the server is in the description wherever you're listening. And for now, thank you guys for tuning into the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. And we'll see you Wednesday night. Bye.